In today's video, we're going to be going over 20 long-lasting and strong projecting fragrances that just will not let up. If that's all you want is performance, you want to invest your money into a product that's going to essentially not leave you high and dry, then you're going to want to stay tuned for this. Again, we've got 20 options here, so we're going to be going through these at a pretty quick pace so this video doesn't get too crazy long. So I'm going to start off here with this first one, and we're going to work our way through. And keep in mind, I've done videos on a lot of these before already. If you want more, guided information and in-depth information on these, you can search my channel up. Chances are I've done that. Now this first one, Tom Ford Black Orchid in the Parfum concentration here. Nice gold bottle. It has truffle, patchouli, and rum. It smells quite a bit like that original Black Orchid. A little bit floral. However, the floralness is really padded with a lot of a sweetness here. A sweetness and kind of a boozy kick as well, which to be fair is pretty typical from your typical Parfum concentrated flanker. A lot of times that's kind of the direction that they go with it. This one's no exception. This is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Again, a little bit floral, just different, out of the ordinary in terms of what most people are wearing, but a very strong performer. And if you want something that's different, well, Black Orchid Parfum is going to be the one for you. This next one is Gentleman's Society Ombre by Givenchy. It has tobacco, vanilla, Peru balsam, and iris. I said a while back I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to top Gentleman Reserve Privé. Well, I'm not necessarily saying that they've topped that one with this, but in my opinion, this really gives it a run for its money. Yet another phenomenal release from the brand. A beautiful, beautiful smoky balsamic sweet scent. Smells wonderful. This is, again, one of their better releases. To me, it's better than Society Extreme and the original Society as well. Not that the Extreme is bad. I still like it. Nice coffee scent, but this one to me is better. Really, really solid release for fall and winter use, coming in at around $104, $105 right now on discounters. So really not a bad price for what you're getting in terms of a high quality, strong performing, and unique smelling product. This next one is Kilian Angel Share. It's got cognac, praline, cinnamon, and vanilla, a sweet, heavy, boozy gourmand. This one is next level in terms of just being over the top, really. I mean, it's strong, not just in terms of its performance, projection, longevity, but in terms of its actual smell. This is one that's very forward. It's a head turner, and there's really no escaping it. When you wear this one, you are going to get noticed. You are going to be seen because it's a very direct scent. It gets right to the point of just being sweet, strong, gourmand, and rich. This is perfect for right now, essentially the dead of winter, or at least we're coming into that time. January really gets pretty cold. That's when you want something like Angel Share. This one has the performance to hold up in the cold, brutal temperatures. This next one is just good old-fashioned YSL Eau de Parfum. This is just the regular EDP. There are flankers you can go for that have been released after this one, like Eau de Parfum Intense and things like that. But I think in terms of performance, just that being the main factor, it's hard to beat this standard Eau de Parfum. I think it is still probably the best performing, even though I have my preferences in terms of what I wear more now, which would be the EDP Intense and even the new Le Parfum 2025. I just find that I'm gravitating towards those more. This one still does take the cake in terms of just overall projection and longevity. It's going to be the most bulletproof option here. And again, it smells amazing. Huge compliment puller with that apple, the sage, geranium, lavender. It's aromatic. It's a little bit fruity sweet from that apple, and a nice ambergris, ambroxan, amberwood base, essentially a blue fragrance base. Solid release coming in at around $100. This next one is Tumi 19 Degree, has raspberry, leather, birch, some suede in here too. So I've liked this one ever since it first came out. I took a complete chance on this one. I blind bought it at full retail when it was first released because I was very interested in it. I liked the note breakdown. I liked the concentration. I even liked the bottle. There's something about this one that immediately caught my attention, and I wanted to give it a try, and I paid that full retail, which is, I don't know, $150, $170, like too expensive to be fair, but I did it, and turned out that I love it. Now, luckily, you can get this for like 58 bucks right now, so that part kind of sucks, but that's been long gone. That money's been spent forever ago at this point. at least it feels like, and I'm still happy that I have this one. And the fact that you can get it for basically just under $60 makes it a steal. A beautiful combination of notes here. Raspberry leather, they go together great. Birch, suede, those notes give it a nice supplemental woodiness and adds into that leather as well. Parfum concentration, so a very strong, long-lasting compliment puller here. Next up, we have Armani Stronger With You Absolutely. It has the chestnut, the vanilla, the tonka bean, and the addition of rum, which is kind of what makes this one absolutely. That's what separates this one from Intensely and Parfum and every other flanker, essentially. Kind of like I was saying earlier with Black Orchid. A lot of Parfums, they add in a boozy note, a rum, a whiskey, something. Here's another one, case in point. That's what they did here, and it gives it a ton of character. Not that character was necessarily missing from the original ones. You know, you can argue that maybe they're a bit boring and, you know, maybe a bit generic, I guess, but I still found that the chestnut accord added something kind of notable to this lineup, but this addition of the rum mixing with everything else gives it that extra little bit of character, I guess, that I appreciate. So it's an Absolu, right? They call it Absolutely, but it's an Absolu, which also usually is going to be a Parfum. That's kind of just how Armani has done it anyway, and so it is a Parfum concentration. Another one with great longevity and projection. Let's go for a Parfums de Marly up next. You could go for really just about anything from them, at least on their sweeter end of things. It is Althair, okay? So you don't have to buy this. You can buy Liquid Brun if you want to save some money, but I just featured this one just to feature it. It's sweet, and that's basically it. It has this also kind of chestnut gourmand, hazelnut even type of smell with the tonka, with the vanilla. I mean, it's just when you look at the note breakdowns of stuff like this, it's not anything that you've not seen before, right? It's kind of a pretty standardized looking note breakdown here, just a lot of sweet notes, but this one comes together to create such a unique smelling gourmand. It really is so edible smelling, and it's purely delicious. I mean, I see why people love this so much, and I see why I like it so much. It's just, aside from the clones, there's not really any other release that smells quite like this one to this level, and that's, again, that's what has drawn so many people into it. It's pricey if you buy this, but the clones, like Liquid Brun, are about $40, and that's well worth it. Let's go for another niche fragrance up next. This one's definitely going to be a little bit more daring here, but I figured I'd throw it in. It's Nasomatto Black Afghano. It has cannabis, oud, incense, and resins. I mean, look at the color of that stuff. You know, so you could definitely kind of come to the conclusion that you should be careful where you spray this in terms of clothing, right? You know, because that could stain lighter colored fabric for sure. I've never tried it, but I know that it could, right? Just kind of a common knowledge item there. But this one, it's smoky, it's resinous, it's sweet, it's woody. And to be honest with you, the note breakdown sounds like a lot. Sounds very, very intimidating, but really, it's not quite as bad as you might think. Truthfully, it really isn't. I mean, you could pull this off probably more often than you might expect. It just, everything about it looks like, ooh, that might be tricky. I mean, even the cap, you know, has that just charcoal wood color to it, texture, really cool presentation, by the way. But man, you know, this one's definitely one that if you want to stand out to the fullest degree, you should check it out. This next one is Azzaro The Most Wanted Parfum. I love this stuff. Essentially, it has this kind of ginger opening here, which gives it this slightly fizzy grape soda smell, which I've always loved. You're getting some sandalwood along with that, I believe, is what they list off. The note breakdown on this one's very slim. They don't give you a whole lot to go off of here, and really it's not worth mentioning. It's 3 notes that really is just telling a very small portion of the story. There's more to it, but this one, it just has that grape fizzy opening, and then it gets into that sweeter kind of wanted, most wanted type of smell, you know, kind of also using some sort of, not necessarily hazelnut in this instance, but kind of like a chestnutty type of smell, similar to what's being used in just regular The Most Wanted, and so it just kind of has that going on too. Again, I've done a lot of videos on this one already. I love it. It's one of my favorites up there with Wanted by Night and Forever Wanted Elixir. Really, really good stuff, coming in at about $83, $84. Parfum, so another strong performer. I've done videos on this one already if you want a further in-depth look in this one. This next one is a fantastic $20 clone of Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. It is Charuto Tobacco Vanille by Pandora Scents. It really smells nearly identical to Tobacco Vanille, and it's actually impressive for 20 bucks. I've said it before, but man, it is so, so good. It just has this kind of Christmas tree, Christmas smell to it. I don't know why, but that's just what it does for me. And Tobacco Vanille, of course, is a strong performer and just a great high quality scent. Comes at a price, you know, a high price. It's 50 ml is the standard size, and you're gonna be looking at well over $150 or something probably. And again, this is 100 ml, it's 20 bucks. It's really hard to go wrong with this one. I think for the money, it's one of the best clones out there for Tobacco Vanille. Nice, heavy frosted glass bottle presentation here as well, which is not necessary, but an added bonus, right? Makes you feel like you're getting something a little bit more premium than maybe what it is. And I'm not saying that it's poor quality, it's actually really good quality, but just most people aren't going to expect that out of a $20 scent. All right, let's keep it moving here. We still got quite a few to go. We have Spicebomb Extreme. It's got tobacco, has black pepper, and a bit of vanilla. Tonka bean's going to be somewhere in there too, no surprise really. But essentially it's original Spicebomb, but with a little bit more of a mature twist. I mean, the original Spicebomb is pretty playful, and it's just because it's spicy and sweet and so loud, borderline obnoxious smelling, really, and I love it, but man, you know, it just is a little bit over the top sometimes. But Spicebomb Extreme is kind of like taking that same smell and just aging it 20 years. It's more mature, more refined, more established. That is essentially Spicebomb Extreme in a nutshell. And the prices on this one have come down dramatically over the years. Discounters, it always used to be at over $100. These days, I mean, I've seen it for as low as like 75. 80 bucks for this 90 ml full presentation, which, you know, for something to actually go down in price instead of up here recently is kind of pretty cool. This next one's pricey. You can look out for it when it does show up on discounters. It's a premium product here. However, it is a very, very strong performer, and to me is well worth it. It is Amouage Reflection, man. This is 45 straight. I mean, the bottle, look at the bottle. That's so, so cool. Maybe it doesn't show up too well on camera here, but man, that is neat. This is the solution to poor performing reflection, man. Maybe I'm the only one. You know, it's an EDP, but it's never performed that good on me. Now, it's a white floral based scent and kind of citrusy. It's not set up to necessarily be a beast mode performer, Reflection Man, and I never expected it to be beast mode, but I would have liked to have gotten just better performance out of it. Really, for the money, I wasn't too impressed with it. I love the smell, but the performance let me down. I just kind of thought that is what it is, and maybe I'll buy a clone that performs better, but they came along with this. 45% perfume concentration, that's what the number on this line stands for, and it is an absolute monster. If you have struggled with the performance of Reflection Man, this is going to be the solution. This next one is YSL MYSLF Le Parfum. I really like it. I like the Eau de Parfum as well, to be fair, but I would take this one over that. It has orange blossom, amber, vanilla, and patchouli. It's a little bit sweet compared to that Eau de Parfum, but still maintains that orange blossom brightness and that ambergris, ambro fix, basically just bright ambroxan touch that it has, right? That's what this is. It's not really blue fragrance in the same type of way, because it's not like shower gel smelling. Instead, it's just kind of white floral smelling with a blue twist, I guess, which is essentially just them adding in some ambroxan into that white floral DNA, and that's kind of what this one ends up being, but I like it for that reason. Let's keep moving with Ferragamo Uomo Signature. It's that original Ferragamo Uomo DNA, but with leather and coffee, making it stronger in terms of just smell. Like, instead of just being nothing but pure sweetness, it has a little bit more of an edge to it. And then also this one still is a good performer as well. They're both very strong, so either one could have been in this video, but I think most people might get more use out of this version, and that's kind of why I featured it. All right, let's keep it moving with Mancera Intense Red Tobacco. It has tobacco, it has patchouli, it has a little bit of oud in here as well. So, you know, it's kind of a little bit more of a tricky one to pull off for some, right? Others aren't gonna have a problem with this at all. But there are gonna be people who might feel as though this is a little bit too much, and that's fully understandable because I can see that. There are going to be situations where I would not want to wear this. Situations where it's going to be kind of close quarters, kind of a quiet environment. This stuff is so loud, so strong, I mean, it might feel awkward. So I would, you know, personally reserve this for situations where there's a lot of people around, maybe a louder environment, and, you know, you're just kind of not going to stand out as much in that type of way where it's awkward. That's kind of what I would use it for. Let's keep moving with Ultra Male by Jean Paul Gaultier. It has pear, cinnamon, vanilla, tonka bean, and that OG lavender smell, but essentially what makes this one so unique is that sweet pear accord. It just, you don't use that note a whole lot, and it works great in this one, just giving it that nice sweet fruitiness. This next one is Invictus Victory Elixir. I love this one. I love the bottle, love the smell. This one has incense, vanilla, and tonka bean, so I personally would take this over the original Victory. Nothing wrong with it, but this one is going to be a higher concentration. It's going to be stronger overall, longer lasting, a little bit more rich, more going on in the scent itself, and so that's kind of just a no-brainer for me. You know, it really kind of gets down to a redundancy factor where you don't necessarily need to own every one in the line if they smell similar, but they just build off of each other and get more intense, which is kind of what this one did. Now, you don't necessarily find out until you buy that first one and then you buy the second one, but if you're watching from the outside looking in and you haven't bought any of them yet, just get this one. Jean-Paul Gaultier's Scandal Absolu is up next, kind of a newer release, I believe last year's. Well, was it this year? Actually, I can't remember. Either this year or last year, I don't know. They released so many fragrances that it's hard to keep up. But on the newer end of things here, and got popular really quick. This one has chestnut, sandalwood, and mirabelle. It's sweet, kind of gourmand, no surprise coming from a Jean-Paul Gaultier, right? And just the name of the game is sweet. Now there's some tonka bean in here as well that they don't list that you definitely pick up on. A little bit of a fruitiness from that mirabelle and maybe a few other notes that they also don't list off on, but that's kind of where this one goes. Yet another sweet scent with a little bit of character. Let's go for a cheapie, Bentley for Men Intense. I've talked about this one before. It's a little bit more of a daring release, but for $30, you really can't beat it. It has essentially this smoky incense and kind of whiskey / rum accord going on in here with a ton of cedar wood. It smells great. It's a very mature, premium, refined smelling scent at a cheapie price, which you just don't see all that often. The quality, the uniqueness, the blend, and the performance for $30 is next level. We're gonna finish this video off with something that's pretty safe, really. It's a little bit expensive, but yet again, very, very safe. It's Acqua di Gio Elixir, right? These are 50 ml bottles, pure Parfum, but premium. But it does have leather, it has violet leaf, marine notes or watery notes, and then a little bit of bergamot and orange off the top. So kind of a leathery take on Acqua di Gio, but still with plenty of heaviness as well to make it, you know, something that's going to be long lasting, and that's exactly what this one is. It threw me off at first, but I've worn it more, I've spent more time with it, and I've grown to really, really love it. I like that leathery take. I like the kind of floral component that it introduces that I wasn't expecting and that you don't really get in too many of the other ones. It's a really good release with exceptional performance. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. 20 fragrances that are just gonna last all day and night. They're gonna project, they're gonna last, they're gonna perform, they're gonna get you noticed. And again, for the money, these are worth it. They're ones that you can buy and get your use out of and not feel frustrated because they only last for 4 hours or something. Links will be down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.